Welcome back to our Hearlihy Blueprint series. We are in plan set number 5, working on our third episode, where we're going to draw in the locations of our windows and bring up our walls and finish up our roof openings. So we're going to start over here with our window in our living room area. Select your tape measure. We're going to start off by creating 4.5 feet, and then from this 4.5 foot mark we're going to go over 6 feet. Go in here, draw in your rectangle, and then we can delete those guides. If we go over here to the bathroom, we have one small little window. So we're just going to go 3 inches off of this closet and then create a small 2-foot window. Over here in our bedroom, we're going to find the center point of this wall. Click on either side, hover over until you get the turquoise dot. From that point, you're going to go to the right 2 inches and the left 2 inches. Now you're going to go to each side 3 feet, and let's draw in our rectangles. We have one small little window in our kitchen. So again, we're going to go over here. We're going to go over to the right 5 foot. And we're going to create a small 3-foot window. We're doing this way, that way we have the windows laid out, and it's a lot easier whenever you're putting in. So now whenever we bring up the walls, all we need to do is set the heights of the windows. So let's go ahead and bring up our push-pull tool, and let's bring up all of our walls to 8 feet. Once you set one wall to, or push-pull something one distance, you can, on your, for the rest of the time, we can just double click, and that will set that to what you did before. You can also click on it and hover over that previous measurement in order to inference that other measurement. So now I'm just going to go through here and bring up the walls for everything except for where the windows are. Now we're going to go through here and mark 6'8", and that is where the top of the doors and windows will be. So we're going to take our line tool, draw a line across, select your P key for the push-pull tool, and pull it over to the right side and hover over that edge in order to inference that edge. Select your E key for the eraser, and we can come in here and clean up our lines. Let's do the same thing for the rest of our walls. L is the keyboard shortcut for the line tool. If you mess up and you misclick something, just hit escape on your keyboard and that will get rid of it and allow you to re-click on it. When you're doing these, make sure that your line is always either red or green depending on which way you're going. This one needs to be green, that way you know it's parallel to that green axis. And we're simply just going through here and doing this for all of the windows and all of the doors. You can hit the T key for the tape measure. And clean up our straight lines. We have our door and window over here, so 6'8", 6'8", and we have our closet door here, which will be our last one. When you're moving around, remember that you can press down on the middle scroll wheel in order to bring up your orbit tool. You can then hold down the middle scroll wheel and hold down shift in order to bring up the pan, and that allows you to really pan around and move around your project. And memorizing at least the main keys that you use will greatly speed up your process. So that creates all of our top settings for the windows. Here we can go down here and start taking a look at these. So this window, we're going to go down 2'6". So let's bring this up to that 2'6" mark. Over here, these are going to be 3 foot. So let's pull these up to that 3 foot mark. And we can erase these lines. These will create as, let's do these as 3 foot as well. There are no exact measurements for these windows. That's not part of this project. In our later projects using the Hearlihy plan set books, there are. So it just depends on the project and which plan set we're working on will depend on whether or not we have exact measurements for these doors and windows. This is the bathroom window, so it is fairly small, so we're just going to create a 2-foot window. And let's clean up, go around, clean up any kind of lines that we may still have. At this point, I have not turned this into a group, so before we go any further, let's triple click on this, right click, and make this a group. Come over here to our outliner panel, right click on that group, go down to rename, and this is going to be our walls. This concludes this episode. Make sure that, again, you save your project, put in your dimensions, and stay tuned for our next episode where we put in the roof.